Hey everybody, today I'm going to do my first G.I. Joe classified figure review, covering Tiger Force Duke and Ram, number 40 in the series. This isn't my first classified figure. I actually purchased a few figures in late 2022, and I plan to review those later on. The G.I. Joe classified series debuted in 2020, featuring reimagined 6-inch versions of the popular 80s 3 3/4-inch toy line. Duke was part of the first wave and would even get a slight repaint variant. The Ram cycle originally came with Breaker as part of a Tiger exclusive Cobra Island line in 2021. The Tiger Force Duke and Ram is a redeco that came out in early 2023, also as a Target exclusive at a $42 price point. I picked mine up just last week, the final week of March 2023, at my local Target on clearance for half off at $21. So if you're watching this video when it's first posted, there's a small chance you might find a similar deal at your local Target. The box features some nice artwork, including a Python Patrol HISS tank being blown up in the background. It measures roughly 14 by 8.5 by 3 inches. The back of the box shows the contents. Although I understand why they changed it, I still wish the box had a window to see the actual contents. The side features some nice artwork that reminds me a little bit of the opening of the original cartoon. Inside we have a cardboard footlocker with two baggies inside. One with a big red gun, that might be the official name, backpack, binoculars, handgun, and submachine gun. And the other, which contains two pieces of the sidecar, which houses the big red gun. Duke and the Ram cycle are tied into a separate cardboard piece using ties that are much easier to cut than plastic ties. Now let's take a closer look at everything. All right, here he is out of the package and he looks good. Quick history lesson. Duke, the toy action figure, came out in the early 80s, one of the earliest versions. The Ram cycle also came out in the early 80s. And then in 1988, they introduced Tiger Force, and Duke was a part of Tiger Force. And actually, I don't really have much older G.I. Joe stuff anymore, but here is some Tiger Force stuff I do have. So the little Tiger Force fish, Tiger Force boat, and dial tone in the Tiger Force gear. And you could definitely see the similarities and the yellows between this and what's going on with the Ram cycle in the back, and we'll dig into that. First, let's take a look at some of the accessories that comes with Duke. So you have a backpack, and it's hard to tell, it depends on the lighting, but the shovel is slightly darker than the backpack, not much. I think it would have been awesome if they made a Tiger Force backpack. A little more detail would have been nice there, and it has a peg, as is traditional with G.I. Joes. We also have, and that same backpack and these same binoculars came with the first classified Duke, but when Duke was released as a smaller figure, he did come with traditional binoculars and a backpack with a little shovel that was molded into it. And he did have a helmet. I think this Duke would have been cool to have a helmet. And there's his handgun. Now this gun did not come with the first classified Duke, but it does come with this one because it actually resembles the gun that the first little Duke had, the 3 3/4 Duke, and you can remove the magazine, which is a nice touch as well. I wonder if there's a place to put the magazine. I don't think so, but it would be cool if you could do it. So let's look at now Mr. Duke, Yo Joe. Let's get the light on him. So he has a couple rubber pieces, like this chest belt moves a little bit. So does this. So does the holster. You can move his head all the way around, totally do an exorcist, and you can nod and stuff like that too. The scar that was more prominent in the earlier figures is harder to see here, but it still does exist. I do wish the face looked more like the original toy Duke, but or the cartoon Duke. Hands, you could turn around several joints. You can move around the arms as well as you'd expect, and the knees and the feet you can rotate. They do have these shin guards that get in the way. Interesting that he has an elbow pad on one side, but not the other. So there, right there, you could see where you put the binoculars. Probably have a more specific term. I'm sorry if I'm slaughtering any terms. I'm not an expert. And there's a peg for the backpack, which because of the belt will not sit flush, but will still hold. So let's go ahead and put the backpack on. See, there's definitely a gap there because that, like I said, that belt gets in the way. And then the holster for the smaller gun and he has itchy trigger fingers there. So we can go ahead and put this gun. See how well he grips it. There we go. That works. So there you go. That's Duke. Let's see if I can get him to balance. He's a little back heavy now. This is where having a stand helps. There, barely got it, but it's working. Let's put him to the side. Oh, by the way, he is about 6. Let's get out the ruler. I think he's about 6.5 inches tall. Yeah, about 6.5 inches tall. And here is the assembled sidecar gun thing. You can take it out and use the gun as a weapon. It does turn around. There are little holes, and the wheel rotates. And here is the bike. Now I haven't measured it yet, so let me see. Flip around the ruler so I can get a better measurement. So it looks like it's about, oh, I can't see where that is. About 8 inches in length, 7.5, somewhere around those lines. Let's move the ruler out of the way. And it is a nice looking bike. The teeth, I was looking at some of the original vehicles. They're cleaner. They're more uniform, which I think looks good. I like that the gas can, or the gas cap, I mean, is right where it eats. I think that's fitting. A lot of details on that little wrench. The handlebars, you could see some of the gauges. This handlebar moves. This one doesn't really. I think this was for the packaging. You have the flag, I guess, on the original Ram cycle that they did with breaker. It was the wrong direction. This one's in the correct direction. And it has a little bit of wear around it too. Got the tail light there. Got the front. The Tiger Force logo. Overall, I think this is a nice looking bike. The handlebar does move with the wheel. You have a kickstand that you can put up, put down, which is necessary. If you're going to pose it, you're probably going to need that. And then the pegs fit right here. And you can also see that there's peg holes for the feet. So those pegs fit in. There we go. This is a nice look. This is a nice looking accessory. I like this. I think this looks good. I don't know. I think I actually prefer the Tiger Force design to the traditional just green design. I actually like this. I'm not a big fan of redecos, but in this case, I think I might prefer the redeco version. Let's put him on his bike here. Okay, I got him on his bike, and I discovered a few things that I want to point out before I end this video. First of all, it's really hard to get his hands on the handlebars, and actually both of them do move. One of them is just really stiff, probably because of the way it was packaged, but both sides do move. But I was just barely able to get him on. And also the feet, at least for me so far, maybe if I worked it harder, but you really don't need to. The feet don't really go into the pegs. I don't know if you could see that, but I wasn't able to get them in the pegs, and this holster right here was getting in the way as I was trying to sit him down. But he does look good on the bike. He does look good. Again, I do wish that there was a helmet, and I don't know what to do with his little machine gun when he's in bike mode. I don't know where to put it. So again, if you know where to put it, let me know in the comments below. But overall, I like the looks of this. I think this looks really good, especially for the price that I was able to find it half off at Target. If you're watching this relatively soon after I post it, maybe you can go to Target. You might have a chance to find it. I don't know. They might fly off the shelves. There's 3 at my Target when I left. I think there was 4 and I took 1. So it's Duke on the Ram cycle. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll try to get some more G.I. Joe Classified. Like I said earlier, I do have a small group of figures to review, and I'll see you next time on my next No Swear Gamer video.